Welcome to today's video, where we explore the incredible and often overlooked stories of women in the Bible. Women whose faith, courage, and strength shaped the course of history. From the matriarchs of the Old Testament to the influential figures in the New Testament, these women didn't just stand by the sidelines, they changed the world. But what makes their stories so inspiring? Why do we still remember them today? Get ready to dive into the incredible legacies of faith, wisdom, and bravery that have empowered generations. And trust me, some of these stories will leave you speechless. Stick around to the end for a surprising revelation you might not know about one of the most famous women in the Bible. If you find these powerful stories as inspiring as I do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you never miss a powerful story from the Bible. Our first powerful woman of faith is Sarah, the wife of Abraham. Sarah's story is one of hope, doubt, and incredible patience. At 90 years old, Sarah had given up hope of ever bearing a child, yet God had different plans. He promised Abraham and Sarah a son, and despite their age and circumstances, Sarah believed in the impossible. Her faith in God's promise birthed Isaac, and from Isaac came the nation of Israel. Sarah's story teaches us that God's timing is always perfect, and when we trust Him, even the most impossible promises can be fulfilled. Sarah's story reminds us that no matter how old we are or how many doubts we have, God's plans for us are bigger than we can imagine. Next, we turn to the bold and courageous Queen Esther. When the Jewish people faced annihilation under the decree of a wicked king, it was Esther who stood in the gap. A young Jewish woman living in exile, Esther was chosen as Queen of Persia. When she learned of Haman's evil plan to destroy her people, she risked her own life by approaching the king without being summoned, an act that could have cost her life. But Esther's courage saved her people and changed the course of history. Her story shows us the power of standing up for what's right, even when the odds are stacked against us. Another woman whose story is nothing short of inspiring is Ruth. A Moabite widow, Ruth could have returned to her family after her husband's death, but instead she chose to stay with her mother-in-law, Naomi, showing incredible loyalty and faith. In a foreign land, Ruth's determination led her to glean in the fields, where she eventually caught the eye of Boaz. Ruth's devotion and hard work not only ensured her survival, but also brought her into the lineage of King David, and ultimately, the lineage of Jesus. Ruth's story teaches us that loyalty, hard work, and faith in God's plan bring about extraordinary blessings, even in the most challenging circumstances. Deborah was not just a prophetess, she was a leader, a judge, and a warrior. In a time when Israel was under oppression, Deborah rose to the challenge. She led Israel to victory in battle, giving guidance not only in spiritual matters, but also in matters of war. Deborah's courage in leading a nation during a time of fear shows that women are more than capable of stepping into roles of leadership and influence, even in the face of adversity. Deborah's life asks us, what are we waiting for to step into the roles God has called us to, even when the road seems daunting? And then we come to Mary, the mother of Jesus. Mary's story is one of quiet faith, unshakable trust, and incredible bravery. When the angel Gabriel visited her, she was told she would conceive the Son of God. As a young woman in a small town, this was a monumental, life-altering message. But Mary, despite the fear, accepted God's will with humility and grace. Through her, the Savior of the world entered the world. Mary's faith in God's calling changed the course of history forever. Her story teaches us that true faith is not only believing in God's promises, but also saying yes to His calling, even when it disrupts our plans. Not all the women of the Bible are well known, but their impact is undeniable. The women who supported Jesus during his ministry, like Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Susanna, were often in the background. But their faith and sacrifices helped further God's kingdom. The Bible is full of women who displayed incredible faith in quiet ways, from supporting their families to risking their lives for the sake of others. These women teach us that no act of faith, no matter how small or unseen, goes unnoticed by God. The stories of these powerful women in the Bible are more than just ancient tales. They are timeless lessons that speak to us today. They remind us that no matter our role, no matter our gender, faith, courage, and obedience to God can change the world. Which of these women's stories resonates with you the most? Comment below, and let's continue the conversation about the powerful role women have in God's kingdom. If you found these stories inspiring, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a story about the incredible women and men of faith who changed history. Share this video with someone who needs to hear these powerful stories today. Thank you for watching, and remember, every act of faith, no matter how big or small, can make a lasting impact. Stay blessed, and we'll see you in the next video.